Give our guys a lot of credit. You know, they didn't bat an eye. The leadership on this team is much different, and that's what I'm really excited and proud of. But it was a test.
And welcome into Buck and Honey's in Sun Prairie. I'm Zach Hanley alongside Bryson Green, and this is Wisconsin Huddle. Bryson, one game, one win. Now, we know it wasn't the prettiest, but it's not supposed to be, right? You got the job done. How'd it feel leaving Friday with that win?
It's always going to feel good leaving the game with a win. You know, you can't complain. I mean, it was a little rough in there, but we finished the fourth quarter and, you know, did a good job. And I'm home happy, and we get to move on to next week 1-0.
Now, to get that win, the Badgers had to dig a little deep in that fourth quarter, down 14-13 in that final quarter, and then every phase made some plays. Special teams provided a spark and recovered a fumble. The defense shut them out in the final 15 minutes and forced a turnover, and the offense capitalized, scoring twice to put the game out of reach. And probably the most important part of all of that, the Badgers did something they struggled to do last season, close out a game by finishing in the fourth quarter.
We're working to be the best program we can be, and, you know, I think we took a big step. Nobody really, you know, batted eye or shut down when we were down in the fourth quarter. You know, we knew what we had to do, and, you know, we executed.
Fourth quarter, that's when games are won. And so to be able to do that tonight for, you know, all three phases to step up and make some plays when they need to be made, that's, you know, that carries a lot of weight. And winning isn't easy. So to be able to pull that one out tonight and you know, just be disciplined at the end and just play fast and confident means a lot.
Now that word finish, how many times this offseason did you hear it? And what does it say about this group already knowing that when push comes to shove, if you guys need to make a play in the fourth quarter, you can get it done?
Well, yeah, first of all, that word finish was used a lot in our offseason, whether it was winter conditioning, whether it was stadiums, whether it was even mat drills. Those things and that word just, like, you know, turned on like a signal in our brains at some point. But I would say spring ball and summer, finish that, and we're really challenged to finish the quarter, really emphasize that. And I think it showing up in the first game was like really a huge step for this team.
I'm Iron Jock brand ambassador Chez Malusi, and this is the Iron Jock Player of the Week.
Well, in his first game since breaking his leg against Purdue last season, Chez Malusi proved he's back and better than ever.
Snap, he'll hand to Malusi straight ahead inside the 5, turning those legs down to the 1. Is he in? Yes, he is. Touchdown, Wisconsin.
19 carries, 74 yards, and a touchdown to earn him Iron Jock Player of the Week honors, powered by Silver Ion technology. It's what's inside. Well, now it's time for our Pep's Draft House category draft. For pizza with big toppings and even bigger tastes, you need to take it to the house. So this is how it works. You and I will be drafting choices that we think best fits the category, but the kicker is if you or I already pick it, we can't use it again.
Gotcha.
Today's category is best pizza toppings. Bryson, you have the #1 pick, and you are on the clock.
I think that's a no-brainer. I'm going to go pepperoni.
Pepperoni?
Pepperoni.
All right, I'm going to go mac and cheese.
That's a crazy pick. That is a crazy pick. But I'll go next pick. I'm going to go pineapples.
Pineapples? But I can't pick it. How about buffalo chicken?
That's a good pick. I love a good buffalo chicken pizza. Next pick, I would say sausage.
Sausage?
Sausage.
So I'm going to go bacon.
Bacon. That does sound good. I would say barbecue sauce on the pizza.
Okay. Yeah, we'll do that. I'm going to go green onions.
Green onions.
So green onions, buffalo chicken, mac and cheese, bacon. Would you eat that?
I probably would.
You definitely would.
I probably would.
You know what? That was Pep's Draft House category draft, and you can play too. Just head over to Wisconsin Huddle's Instagram page and let us know your top 4 pizza categories and who won the draft. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Wisconsin Huddle. Up next for Wisconsin, an undefeated South Dakota team out of the FCS, but this isn't a quote-unquote cupcake game, right? The Coyotes play in the Missouri Valley Conference, which has been dubbed the SEC of the FCS. Now, South Dakota is coming off a year where they reached the quarterfinals of the FCS playoffs and definitely have the Badgers full attention.
A lot of people here in South Dakota think they're some lousy team, but they're truly a tough, smart, disciplined team where it's going to be a 4-quarter game. And, you know, I don't think it's going to be a cakewalk at all.
This is the opportunity that they want, you know, like a big stage, you know, 80,000 fans, like they're going to come in and want to silence us, you know, run it down our face, and you know, prove to us that they're man enough to go against us.
Now, Bryson, we know you're not overlooking South Dakota, especially with Alabama coming up next. But how do you prepare for a game like this when, you know, there is that big opponent looming? And what about this week do you want to put on tape and show?
No, first you just got to focus on going 1-0 each week. I think the game ahead of us is the most important game before we even worry about Alabama. And I would say just showcasing that we can still handle these games, and whether it's a smaller school, whether it's a bigger school, we know they're going to come to play us hard and, you know, give us their best shot. This could be their Super Bowl. There's a lot of guys that came from Wisconsin area that go to South Dakota, so we know it's going to be a big game no matter what.
Our first Buc-ee's Beasts of the Week highlighted their talents off the field.
This week, we take a look at some feats that will simply make your jaw drop.
Let's start on the offensive side of the ball. Wisconsin has a guy by the name of Tawi Walker, a 5'9", 218-pound running back who's built like a brick house. What do you do when you have him on your team?
Are you kidding me? Run the ball.
And when he gets it, it's like a freight train coming straight at you. Number 3 didn't get off the tracks. Hoo-hoo! That's a Mack truck coming full speed ahead, and Walker turns out the lights and makes him go night-night. But check out the balance. A hand in the dirt looking for pay dirt. You can't stop that. He'll carry the whole team into that end zone.
And Zach, I love it, but Tawi, he's ran over some people in the past, whereas my beast, this is a first for him. Xavier Lucas.
Reaching out with one hand.
Gets the interception. Yeah, that's a defensive player with one hand. You can call him Odell, and it would count in the NFL. Gets the 2 feet down. And wait a second, let's just run that back. Too ridiculous not to. Gets the one hand on it. The highly touted true freshman only played 7 snaps, and this was one of them. Next marks the spot, and he is that dude.
So congrats to Xavier and Tawi on being our Week 2 Beasts of the Week.
The easy answer is basketball, but I really would like to be able to do synchronized diving or something. I just think that's so cool, seeing them all on one accord doing that. So that would be fun. I would love to do something like that.
I'm a track guy, you know, obviously. So I'd probably want to run the 100, 200. I love Usain Bolt. I love watching him run. You know, kind of sad that he's retired now, but I'd definitely be probably 100, 200.
I wanted to try swimming. I wanted to do that. That seems pretty cool. What's her name? Katie Ledecky.
I could do shot put. I used to be a shot putter, so I used to be a 50-footer, so we'll definitely do that.
I'll probably do track and field. I say hurdles, because that's what I did in high school, and then I won state in Kentucky at 300 hurdles, so that was probably my best event. So I'll probably say 400 hurdles. I could probably do that, you know, a couple years of training.
Welcome back to Wisconsin Huddle. Now, last week, Chez's Wisconsin team shut me out 31-0.
And the stomping has commenced.
Since South Dakota is not in the game, I'm going to throw you, hopefully, a little loop, and we're going to play NBA 2K.
That's okay.
Have you played?
I have played.
Okay.
Not in a while, but 2K's, everybody plays 2K. So.
Okay, well, I'm very bad at 2K, so we're going to see how this goes. So 3-on-3, blacktop. First one on 21 wins.
Yep.
All right, I got to remember what the buttons are. Oh, what is shoot?
X is shoot. There you go.
Oh.
There's a shot meter, though.
You know what? LeBron is never going to miss that shot.
In real life.
Okay.
You got the goat. You got the goat on there.
He's gonna have to play like he did in the Olympics.
Yeah, just
to help me out. Yeah.
We got him jumping.
You know what we've learned through the first 11 points? That I'm very bad at this.
It's all good, you know.
So wait, who's your NBA team?
NBA team, I'll probably say I'm split between the Mavericks and Timberwolves. But when they played in the playoffs, though, I didn't know who to root for.
Yeah.
I was just happy it was a good series, though. Can't complain.
I love Ant.
Yeah, Ant he can play. He can play ball.
When he told Charles.
Yeah. He's a character. It's like you need people like that though on the team. Can he shoot? Nah, that's definitely off. See, this is why you don't want to be a Bucks fan.
Be careful who you say.
Just playing. I need to go to the what is it?
Pfizer?
Yeah, the Deer District was it?
Yeah. It's pretty crazy.
I know. I went to a Brewers game this summer and also that was pretty cool. You're starting to pick up speed. I need to lock in.
See, that's why I'm asking questions to try to throw you off your game.
There we go. Ooh.
Nice help defense, Ray.
It was. He didn't want to get dunked on.
No, that was a business decision.
Business decision. I want Vince to get this last bucket. Oh, see, I got Jokic in the corner though. See if we can end it. There we go. This game.
21-7.
Hey.
You know what? So let's just think about this. Ches beat me 31-0. Badgers got the win. You beat me 21-7. Maybe Badgers get the win on Saturday.
I'm down with
you
keeping
like those
that train
odds?
rolling. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll be right back. More Wisconsin Huddle after this. And welcome to this week's Wisconsin Huddle Unleashed. I'm Zach Hanley. He's Ches Malusi. We're going to attempt to play checkers. Ches, when's the last time you even played checkers?
It has to have been 10 years ago, maybe.
Okay, good, because I've been practicing since we stopped this show. Every single day, 3 hours a day, checkers. I'll let you go first. Favorite restaurant on campus?
I wouldn't say on campus, but Naples 15. A little, it's right next to the Capitol, but it's not like right on campus.
Yeah. What's your go-to meal there?
I mean, every time I go there, Sal, the owner, just kind of just brings stuff out, and I just gotta like fend and try to figure out what I want. See, that's a thing?
Yeah.
See,
I hope so.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
You know what? We're gonna play it that way because it made me look.
I didn't know that was a thing, so I had to give. Oh, I flipped this.
Yeah, you can flip it. Yep. So with the Big Ten becoming even bigger, out of the 4 schools, which one, are you looking forward to playing the most? I know you don't play all of them, but like if you could pick.
I mean, I think the one that are on our schedule. I mean, that's I think everyone's like childhood. I wouldn't say dream school, but like school that always has like the best uniforms. School that always has like they had those like star players back in the day. Oregon. So I would say Oregon probably the newest team that got added that I would want to play.
You mentioned the unis. If Wisconsin could do alternates and you were designing them, what would be the color scheme?
I wouldn't go crazy because I feel like Wisconsin's huge on tradition, and I think that's like what makes Wisconsin so special. But I think I would try to like stay within our color realm, and I would like definitely have some black uniforms. And not that black's like one of our colors, but like it fits our color scheme.
Yeah.
So I would definitely throw some blacks in there, I think.
Not looking too good at this point.
Checkers is terrible. This is not great.
So growing up, did you play any board games or anything like that?
I wouldn't say I was like a huge board game person. I was always just a gamer.
Yeah.
Like I'm an only child, so I wasn't like I didn't have like a ton of people to play board games with. So I was just always on video games. So
what was your game?
Back like when I was younger or like teenager. I would say like when I was younger, I was always on like my PS2 playing like some sort of like Mortal Kombat or something like that.
Yeah.
That's game.
In the words of Mortal Kombat, finish you, right?
Yeah.
For Ches Malusi, I'm Zach Canley. That was this week's Wisconsin Huddle. And welcome back to Buck and Honey's in Sun Prairie. The Arch March returned to Camp Randall for the first time this season, and Luke Fickell was suited up for Friday night's season opener because, you know, you look good, you feel good, you coach good, right? Well, let's see how the Badgers liked his look in this week's Feelin' the Fit.
I like that 10 out of 10. I like the black on black. I like that. It's smooth, you know. Maybe more of a red tie since the handkerchief is a little more red. But I get that a 10 out of 10. I think Coach stunting in here, for real. I like this. He looks serious. Socks. You know, it's not that noticeable. We'll let it slide. We'll let it slide.
No socks. Oh yeah, he doesn't have any socks. I see that. Okay, I might have to take -1 for that. But yeah, I did not see that. I thought he had socks. Yeah, I'll probably say, okay, I'll bring it to a 9. He does love that no socks look. I'll be honest with you. He always doing that. I like it too. I've gone no socks a few times. You know what I mean? I feel like it's a little bit classier. It's kind of more in style right now. I definitely have to match the tie to the little pocket, you know what I mean, a little bit better. It's 2 different reds. I don't know if I'm really messing with that. I really like a 7.5, 8 out of 10. It's good. It's not great, you know what I mean? Like, not something that I'm aspiring for, but it is good for sure, for sure.
All right, Bryson, how would you rate Coach Fick's game day fit?
I'm not gonna be harsh here. I'm gonna say like a 7.5.
Yeah.
Just because I think he could have matched the tie and the little pocket handkerchief just a little better. I like the navy blue suit though. Cannot complain about that. Good color. And then also the no socks is a no-go for me.
No-go? You always have to have your socks?
If I'm wearing like slide-on dress shoes, it's a different story. But if I'm wearing like tie-ups, you gotta put socks on.
Who do you think picked out that outfit? Him or his wife?
Probably. I think the no socks, maybe his wife. I don't know if he wears no socks, but you know. You could never know. I don't think he likes dressing up too much.
7.5?
7.5.
Would you wear that with socks?
With socks, I would, but change up the tie.
And that's it for this week's Wisconsin Huddle. Be sure to stop by next week's live taping right here at Buck and Honey's in Sun Prairie on Monday, September 9th. Show starts at 7 o'clock. For Bryson Green, I'm Zach Canley. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
Family first man. Oh, bye.